Imagine stepping into a world-famous museum, your heart racing with anticipation, expecting to be surrounded by timeless masterpieces, only to be met with empty frames, silent and haunting, where priceless works once hung. This is the reality at Boston's Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, where these empty frames mark the site of the largest and most mysterious art heist in history. For over 30 years, these frames have stood as patient sentinels, waiting for the return of stolen treasures that once inspired awe. The museum's founder, Isabella Stewart Gardner, left strict instructions that the collection remain untouched, so the empty frames stay as haunting reminders of what was lost. The stolen art's value now exceeds $500 million, but the true loss is cultural. Masterpieces like a Vermeer, Rembrandt's Only Seascape, and more vanished without a trace. The thieves didn't just steal paintings, they stole irreplaceable pieces of our shared history, leaving behind only questions and sorrow. Shockingly, despite decades of searching, no one has ever been arrested, and not a single artwork has been recovered. The FBI has chased leads across continents, following every clue, but the mystery endures, growing only more legendary with time. The museum offers a $10 million reward, the largest ever for stolen property, pleading for the art's safe return, not retribution, hoping for a miracle. The empty frames are a daily, silent cry for justice and restoration, echoing through the museum's halls. They remind us of a crime that changed the art world forever, and of the hope that one day, the lost masterpieces will return. The Gardner heist remains a real-life thriller, unsolved, unforgettable, and still capturing imaginations worldwide. The museum's message is clear and unwavering. Bring the art home, restore what was taken. The quest continues as the world watches, waits, and dreams of the day the masterpieces return to their rightful place. On St. Patrick's Day, 1990, Boston was alive with celebration. The city pulsed with energy. Parades, laughter, and music filled the streets as people reveled late into the night, painting the town green in honor of the holiday. Inside the Gardner Museum, two young security guards, Rick Ath and Randy Hestand, watched over priceless art. While the city outside was wild with excitement, the museum's halls were quiet, echoing only with the footsteps of its caretakers. The museum's security was outdated, no cameras at the employee entrance, and motion detectors weren't linked to police. The system, once considered adequate, now seemed vulnerable, especially on a night when distractions were everywhere. Abath, a musician, often worked nights. Hestand was new to the job. Both were unprepared for anything out of the ordinary, expecting only the usual quiet shift. Their instructions were clear: never open the doors after hours. The rules were simple, but the responsibility weighed heavily, especially with so much at stake. As the city's festivities faded, the guards settled in for a routine, uneventful night. Midnight passed quietly, the silence broken only by the distant echoes of celebration outside. The museum, with its lush courtyard and treasures, was an oasis of calm. Its masterpieces seemed to slumber, untouched by the chaos beyond its walls. The guards followed their patrol routines, logging their movements. Every hour, they checked the galleries, making sure nothing was amiss, their vigilance a quiet ritual. They had no idea that two men, disguised as police officers, were about to change everything. The night's calm was about to shatter in ways no one could have predicted. The stage was set for a crime that would shock the world. In the darkness, a plan was unfolding that would become legendary. The guards' next decision would alter their lives and the fate of the art forever. In a matter of moments, everything they knew would be upended. The museum's vulnerability was about to be exposed. The alarms, the locks, the routines, all would be tested. In minutes, history would be rewritten. The world would soon wake to news of an audacious heist. The heist was about to begin, setting in motion a mystery that would haunt the art world for decades to come. At 1:24 a.m., a sharp buzzer pierced the quiet at the security desk, shattering the stillness of the night shift. Rick Abath, the night guard, glanced at the monitor and saw two men standing at the entrance, both dressed in what appeared to be Boston police uniforms. The men claimed they were responding to a report of a disturbance in the museum's courtyard, insisting they needed to come inside and check things out. Museum protocol was crystal clear. never opened the door for anyone after hours, not even the police, without proper verification. But Abath, perhaps reassured by their uniforms and badges, hesitated only a moment before buzzing them in, breaking the cardinal rule that was meant to keep everyone safe. The supposed officers entered the lobby, quickly asking if anyone else was in the building, and called Abath's fellow guard, Heist, to the desk. In an instant, their true intentions became clear. One of the thieves told Abath there was a warrant for his arrest, luring him away from the panic button and deeper into the trap. Both guards were ordered to the ground, handcuffed, and their hands, feet, and heads were bound tightly with duct tape, leaving them completely helpless. The thieves marched them down to the basement, separating the guards and restraining them in different rooms, leaving them alone in the darkness. With the guards neutralized and no one left to stop them, the thieves now had free reign over the entire museum. They controlled the museum and its priceless collection, surrounded by masterpieces worth millions. The heist was in full motion as the thieves moved swiftly and methodically from gallery to gallery, selecting their targets. The guards were powerless, left behind in the basement, while the art above was completely unprotected. The thieves had 81 minutes, an eternity in a heist, to take whatever they wanted, undisturbed and unhurried. Their plan had worked flawlessly. The museum, for this brief window, belonged entirely to them. The world's greatest art theft was underway as the thieves began removing masterpieces from the walls. No alarms sounded, no resistance came, just a silent, golden opportunity for the thieves. The crime of the century had begun, and the world would soon wake to a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. With the guards secured, the thieves moved swiftly. Their path, tracked by motion detectors, showed purpose. They targeted the Dutch room first. There, they crudely cut Rembrandts and from their frames. They took a tiny Rembrandt etching, shattered a Govert Flink frame, and ignored other masterpieces. In the short gallery, they grabbed 5 Degas drawings and a bronze eagle finial, an odd choice. Downstairs, they stole Monets and an ancient Chinese bronze vessel. The selection was bizarre, masterpieces taken, others left untouched. After 81 minutes, they'd gathered 13 pieces. They made 2 trips to their car, vanishing into the night. The museum was left in ruins, frames empty, art gone. The world's cultural heritage had suffered a devastating blow. The Gardners' greatest treasures had disappeared without a trace. The stolen 13 works represent an irreplaceable loss. Vermeer's, one of only 36 by the artist, was the crown jewel. Rembrandt's only seascape and a rare self-portrait etching were also taken. Manet's, the only one in the collection, vanished from the Blue Room. 5 Degas sketches, intimate studies of jockeys and horses, were stolen from the short gallery. The thieves also took a bronze eagle finial and a Chinese vessel, objects of historical, not just monetary, value. Their choices puzzled investigators. Why ignore a Titian or a Raphael? Was it ignorance, a collector's wish list, or trophies for the thieves? The art world was left with questions and empty frames. The loss was more than financial, it was a wound to culture itself. The Gardners' masterpieces were gone, their fate unknown. The mystery deepened. The next morning, the museum was eerily silent. Staff couldn't reach the night guards and called police. Inside, chaos, empty frames, shattered glass, and devastation. Abath and Heist were found bound but unharmed in the basement. Their accounts revealed the thieves' police disguise and the guards' ordeal. The FBI took over, sealing the museum as a crime scene. News of the heist stunned the world. How could such a theft happen? The thieves had exploited outdated security and simple deception. Director Anne Hawley faced a crisis, balancing media scrutiny and staff grief. The Gardner was more than a museum, it was a Boston icon, now violated. Experts tallied the loss, hundreds of millions in art gone. Forensic evidence was scarce, the thieves left little behind. The world was left to wonder, who did this, and where was the art? The FBI's investigation began with vague descriptions, 2 white men in police uniforms. Focus quickly shifted to Boston's criminal underworld, especially the mafia. Theories abounded. Was the art a bargaining chip for mobsters? Notorious art thief Miles Connor Jr. offered hints, but delivered nothing. Thousands of interviews and years of work led nowhere. No ransom, no credible sightings, no trace of the art. The FBI chased leads across continents, but every trail went cold. The case file grew, but answers did not. The silence from the underworld was deafening. The Gardner mystery became one of history's most frustrating unsolved crimes. The art and the truth remained hidden. Over decades, theories multiplied. The FBI named 2 deceased mobsters as likely culprits, but lacked evidence and, crucially, the art. Some suspected the IRA, imagining the art shipped overseas as leverage. Investigators chased this lead to Ireland, no luck. Suspicion even fell on guard Rick Abath, whose actions that night were unusual, but he maintained his innocence. Another theory, a secretive collector commissioned the theft, explaining the art's disappearance from the black market. Most experts believe organized crime was involved, not a Dr. No villain. Yet, with no art recovered, every theory remains just that, a theory. The Gardner heist endures as a puzzle with missing pieces. The world is still searching for answers. Decades later, the Gardner heist remains the world's greatest unsolved art theft. The empty frames are symbols of loss and hope. The case is about more than money. It's about cultural heritage stolen from us all. The FBI's $10 million reward still stands, with immunity offered for the art's safe return. The goal is recovery, not retribution. Someone, somewhere, may know where the art is, hidden in an attic, a basement, or a storage unit. The search continues, fueled by hope and the promise of reward. The story isn't over. The final chapter is unwritten. As long as the frames remain empty, the world will keep watching. If this mystery has captivated you, explore more about the Gardner case and the ongoing hunt for lost masterpieces. Subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries. The next unsolved case is just around the corner. The Gardner's lost art still waits to come home.